Good morning, it's day 143, July 10th. You're looking at East Carey Pond. It's a little after 5 a.m. Beautiful place. This is the AT headed north. Mousetraps already took off up ahead of me. And today is a very exciting day because we have 10 miles to go to get to the Kennebec River, where we take the canoe ferry across to Carentuck, where there's a bed and breakfast / restaurant. So we'll eat lunch there in town. I'll get a little bit of a resupply. I only need 2 days to get to Monson. So Carentuck will be the next to last supply town, with Monson being the last before we go into 100-mile wilderness. The ferry service runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you got to be there before 2. And that's another reason why yesterday evening we decided to do the additional 3.6 from West Carey Pond lean-to over here to East Carey Pond. Because otherwise we'd have to do 14 miles before 2 o'clock. Which we probably could have done, but it's just nicer not to have to rush to get there. Now we've got a 2-hour buffer or so, so hopefully everything will go right and we'll get there. All right, some sunrise action going on right there. All right, that's going to be it for this morning's opening segment. Till next segment, this is Reboot, heading north. We're about 2 miles from the Kennebec, and here's a nice small set of falls. You know, I really appreciate the volunteer trail maintainers' efforts, but this has to be the poorest footbridge that I've seen on the entire AT. I guess it's better than no footbridge. Oh, wow. That's some bouncy, bouncy. So we've reached the Kennebec River. It's about 9:30. We've been here about 15 minutes. And there's the canoe ferry on the other side of the river that just took across a couple of hikers, and he's going to be on his way back here in a few minutes. And it looks pretty benign, but they have several warnings not to try to cross it without the ferry, because there's been several drownings here over the years. So, and that's not an issue for me because I have a healthy fear of moving water. So, oh, he's on the way back already. Here goes Mousetrap and Hoot.
Yeah, it's like.
From Russia with love.
From Carrot Top with love.
Alright, have a safe trip.
Thanks. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Are you going to the B&B?
I'm gonna keep going. What about you?
We're going to go to the B&B and then keep going, but we're only doing another 5 miles today.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get 2 shelters out. We'll see.
Nice.
I don't know what happens with the rain.
Okay.
Them, it's no way back.
Oh, yeah.
So it's within here when you cross in Kennebec.
I gotta stop at Munson's. My food's in Munson's.
Okay. Since. Yep. Doesn't look like too hard of a ferry. Well, now he's coming back for me. This is his job all day, ferrying hikers across the Kennebec. I thought there was a white blaze on the canoe. I was looking on the outside, but it's on the inside. The north side of the river. And I didn't get to film because I had to help paddle, which is fine. I like water activities, so it's kind of cool to do something different than hiking on a trail. But the guy said he keeps track of how many people a day he does, and the most people he's ever done is 55, and the high number so far this year is 35. So and he does that from 9 to 2 this time of year, so he stays pretty busy. He's doing 35 to 55 people during peak season. Oh, we had heard a rumor that someone had drowned already this year, and actually somebody on my Facebook page commented and warned me, make sure I take the ferry, that someone had already drowned this year. And I asked the ferry operator about that, and he said that someone had drowned in April, but it was some really unusual conditions, that the water was really high, like up in those trees that you see across the river, and there were ice packs on both sides of the river. So it wasn't just like, and not that I recommend that any thru hiker do this, but it wasn't like a thru hiker trying to cross under warmer water and lower water conditions. The guy made a very, very poor decision. Just the time of year alone and the water temperature, he was going to be hypothermic, even if the water had been low like it was today. But with the water being that high, and ice packs on both sides, and the water temperature, I mean, that was very foolish, just to be quite honest about it. And I'm sorry for anybody that, I doubt anybody that's his family or a close friend of his would see my video, but you know, you have my condolences. But the point I'm trying to make is, it wasn't under these conditions, but still, I would not attempt to ford it, and nor should anyone else. Just use the ferry. Oh, Mousetrap waited for me. Okay, that's it for now. I'm at the Carrollton Bed and Breakfast, and just got my pulled pork sandwich and strawberry milkshake and a few resupply items. So I'm leaving the Carrollton House hiker hostel, and that was a nice little stop. The pulled pork sandwich was awesome, just as good as anything I could get down south. And I know Johnny Roo, if you're watching this, you think it all tastes the same, but that sandwich I had in Fort Montgomery was not up to Southern standards. But that sandwich I just had right there, that'll pass. And the milkshakes were awesome. Had a strawberry, and you have it in that little, what do they call those? A fountain shop style glass. And he makes more, and then we'll go in that. He gives you the other part in a plastic cup. And as I was getting ready to leave, there was a little girl, a little southbounder, young girl. She said, "I can't finish my milkshake. Does anybody want the other half?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I actually had like 1.5 milkshakes. Hers was a mocha, and it was good too. But I got a couple of days resupply, and all I need now, it's just getting ready to head to Monson. So doing good. It's hot, but we'll deal with it. This is going to be the wrap-up video for day 144. I'm here at Pleasant Pond Shelter and getting ready to go to sleep. It's about 7:45 or so. Had a really good day today. Enjoyed getting to Kennebec and doing the ferry, and as I said, had a real good stop at that hostel. The barbecue sandwich and milkshake were just outstanding. I think even if I wasn't a thru hiker, I'd probably think that was pretty good. So got here to Pleasant Pond Shelter, or Pleasant Pond Lean-To, pretty early, about 2 o'clock. Did a total of 16 miles today, so kind of had an off day. But we took the time to just kind of relax a little bit, and then Mousetrap and I worked out the mileage through the 100-mile wilderness. So if everything goes well, I'll be summiting on the 18th, which is the date that I had when I did my original schedule. So pretty excited about that. And got a long day tomorrow, 22 miles, but that sets us up to get into Monson on Thursday and get a resupply at the hostel and get to hit the last leg. So feeling pretty good as we're coming to an end here. So with that, it's all good in the woods.